Hi, what's up everyone? The Division 2 Year 5 starts tomorrow with Season 1. There's 4 seasons in Year 5 and a hell of a lot of content coming. It's got to be ending on a DLC as well, and we know more information now on that DLC and exactly where we are heading. I'm not going to spoil that right now, but you will find out in the video. They did a stream earlier today. Massive did a stream with a special report detailing all this, so we know exactly what's coming in Season 1, 2, 3 and 4, all the way up until the end of Year 5, and it's got people very excited, including myself. I did a co-stream. We streamed it live. We spoke about it earlier, but if you did miss it, this video is just a recap on that. We'll go over everything that went down today, and I'll give you my thoughts as we go. But before we do get going, as always, please do like and share the video. I'd really appreciate it. Subscribe if you're new here. And for Year 5, there's one place you're definitely going to want to be. That's our community. There's a lot going on in there regarding the Division 2. Once you're done today, come and check us out. It's linked at the top of the video description. Let's get started. So right from the get-go today, they did a story recap. I just want to shout out NGN. This is the second time that I saw him work with Massive on something like this. He's absolutely fantastic at what he does. And he did a story recap for us for Season 11, leading into Season 1 of Year 5. They also shown the Year 5 Season 1 trailer, which you saw in the intro to the video in the background. At the end of today's video, I will show that in full with sound so you can take a look at that. They soon moved on to the Manhunt in Season 1. I just want to read you this segment taken from the patch notes. In the wake of the attack of the White House, the Division discovered that 11 people are unaccounted for and considered missing. You'll be tasked to go on a high-stakes rescue mission to find the missing civilians, as they have valuable intel on the White House and the castle settlement. Year 5 Season 1's prime target is Mary Singh, the former director of the DC Aquarium. She moved into the castle and set up a fish farm to support the settlement and build a sustainable and secure place to raise their growing family. Agents must locate and rescue Mary and 4 other hostages before further damage can be done in Washington, DC. Securing the people will help rebuild the castle and restore vital services for the Division. Good luck, agents. So straight away, that gives you the twist on Manhunt in Year 5 of the Division 2. In Season 1, rather than going after Manhunt targets to, gather intel or kill them, we are going after hostages. And on screen now, you can see the 4 hostages. We've got missing John, missing Eva, missing Lauren, missing Mitchell, and Mary Singh now is the missing leader. And you can also see the roadmap there for Season 1. It's going to run from June to August, and it's very similar to what we have known of before. So we've got all the Manhunt targets, even though the hostages this time. We have an apparel event, which is called Escalation, which will be in June. Then we've got the John League, Eva League, Lauren League, Mitchell League, which will be those normal speedrun leagues across the same missions. And we've got the global events. We've got Guardians, Hollywood, Polarity Switch, and Golden Bullet. Before we carry on, I do just want to say I was slightly disappointed at this because I was really hoping there's going to be some sort of restructure to like the seasonal activities or how they were going to do this. I thought rebuilding the castle settlement was going to be a big thing and there'd be different activities we're doing. I don't know what I was expecting. I was slightly disappointed to see we'll be doing the same thing. The rebuilding castle aspect of it is basically as you do each manhunt and you get missing John, Eva, Lauren, Mitchell, and Mary Singh, you'll rebuild part of the settlement. It'll just happen automatically, and that's how they're sort of doing this. You're not really doing anything different. It's just kind of gonna like go with the flow, if that makes sense. I was a little bit disappointed by that, but carry on because there's so much more good stuff coming which really overshadows that disappointment. And the first thing I want to highlight is a better Season Pass. Season Passes are going to work exactly the same as they always have done. They're going to be free. You'll have the free track, and if you spend $9.99 or the equivalent in your country, you're going to get like the premium part of the season track for some better rewards. It's always cosmetic. It's nothing that's going to improve the game for you or give you an advantage, but it's good stuff to have. And one of the things I was very happy with is that for a long time now, in the seasons that we've had in the last year or so, we have had no new emotes. And I know this is very little, but emotes are coming back to the Season Pass. So in Season 1, you're going to be able to get a hold of some brand new emotes. There will be 3 new emotes to be precise. You're also going to get 9 new weapon skins on the premium track, 10 new gear dyes, 3 new arm patches. Patches again is something that we haven't had for a long time. There'll be a special Year 5 Season 1 vanity outfit, a new helmet at level 100, and what's really cool is that Splinter Cell outfit that they've been teasing. That's going to be attached to this season pass as well. Now, I know this is only vanity, but for the last few seasons, I haven't cared about this season track at all. The gear on it or the mask I haven't felt were that rewarding. They've not been anything I've been really interested in. I've still bought them and done them, obviously. But this season track is going to be well worth the $9.99 for those special items that are on it. And I think that gives more reward for the players that have invested that money. And kudos for them for putting something decent on there for once. Next, and the thing I am probably most excited about in Season 1 of Year 5, is the brand new game mode, Descent. I'm now going to take another snippet from an article that they posted today to give you some information. This article will be posted down in the video description, by the way, if you do want to go and read it in full. Descent is a free 1 to 4 player game mode with semi-infinite and randomized progression versus an infinite difficulty curve. Warlords of New York ownership is not required to access this mode. Agents are stripped of all their gear, specializations, and perks when starting the game mode, and the mode is a playground where you can experiment with builds not feasible in the regular game, challenging them tactically and encouraging deeper understanding of the build meta. This AR training simulation at the NSA facility was designed to test the limits of the Oryx robotics tech. Leave your gear and shade tech behind to help Wally extract intel from the NSA database. You will access Descent from the Mega Map, Castle Settlement Door, Matchmaking Station, and Helicopter Pilot to activate the simulation. Equip weapons, skills, and talents, take turns exploring rooms, defeat enemy bosses, and ultimate opponent, the Nemesis. Continue your run after defeating the Nemesis and see how far you can go for exclusive leaderboard rewards, and discover the history of the simulation and Oryx robotics connection to the Division and the Black Tusk each week in your collectibles menu. Now, we did get a chance to play a lot of Descent in the most recent PTS. There was a 2-phase PTS. We played in the first phase. Didn't get a chance in the second phase, unfortunately. But here's a list of the improvements that they've done to the game mode since that first phase of the PTS. They've increased post-Nemesis levels difficulty. They've adjusted the difference between single and co-op experience. They've increased the frequency of hazard occurrence, added new rewards and XP systems, and multiple stability improvements. My take from the PTS was that it did need stability improvements, because once you're in that mode, because of the way the mode works, if you did lose connection for whatever, it's impossible to get back in, and it did ruin runs. It didn't happen that often, but it did need improvements, so I'm glad to hear that, and there's nothing they can do to change that really, so it needs to be a stable game mode, so that's good to hear. The other thing is how rewarding the mode was going to be, and a lot of people asked questions about that in today's live stream, and the answer to that does make it very rewarding. Named blueprints from previous seasons are going to be unlockable in the Descent game mode. So if you think about the game now, what named blueprint do we have? I don't think we have any apart from those ones that came through the specializations, like that Petrov named chest, say. So if you think about it, previous seasons named blueprints, you're now going to be able to get them and just keep on crafting until you get the god roll that you want. And then obviously optimize it rather than going to farm for it. And farming of items, or named items rather, can be difficult. They did also discuss whether this would include PvP named items. There's a little bit of confusion about that. It was as if that they thought it did, but then they said it won't. And Daria did say it's only going to be seasonal named items before they ended that discussion. So I don't think PvP named items will be included, but they said they are open to feedback on the mode, and that is something they could discuss for the future, because they will look to revisit this mode in the future to make improvements, and they do want to hear what the player feedback will be from launch tomorrow. And apart from that, there's going to be unique arm patches as well. So some more vanity items for you. Again, I am very excited for this brand new game mode. I'm going to be playing it a lot, and I think it's going to have a lot of replayability. Also, there is a reward structure too, and that looks like this. It says rewards are based on the maximum descent loops reached. 1 to 29 level, you get field proficiency cache containing standard, specialized, and superior quality items. Crafting material cache containing crafting materials of all sorts, 11 to 29. 30 to 40 will be level crafting material cache. 11 to 40 level exotic cache excluding raid exotics. A lot of people are asking for them to be included. It will be excluded. They are only for raids in the DZ still. New simulation cache for 30 to 39 level. Simulation cache containing superior and high-end quality items. Level 40, simulation cache containing high-end quality items with a 15% chance of dropping gear sets and named gear and weapons. All rewards that you get like this will be for use on your main character outside of this mode. They did clarify that this is a roguelike game, and with these sort of modes are normally their own thing. But these rewards that you get for playing it will be rewarded to you in the form of caches outside of this mode, which you can use on your main game character, similar to how survival worked on the Division 1. I could probably keep speaking about this all day because I am that excited for it. I've wanted something like this in the Division for a long time, and after the PTS, I think we're going to spend a lot of time in it. But we're now going to move on. On screen now, you can see the XP rebalance. This is something that was spoke about last time they did a stream. They mention all the time how everybody's always doing resource convoys, and what they want you to do instead is to use all the open world activities to your benefit. The thing with that is resource convoys were that OP that everyone was just doing that because you got more XP for it. So they've done a whole rebalance, and on screen now you can see how this works. So they've kind of reduced the XP in certain open world activities and increased it in others. Like hostage rescue at the top there, you're going to get 7% less XP. For public execution, you're going to get an additional 46% XP. If you go down to blockade, 103% more XP for that. And if you have a look at the resource convoy, you're getting 10% less XP. You can see it all there. And what they said in today's stream was they think now they're going to need to obviously get some testing and some stats from when the season goes live. But they're hoping now players are just going to go to the next nearest activity to them. Whether that's a control point, another open world activity. But they feel that is now going to be the fastest way to level up with open world activities. And it'll stop people from just doing resource convoys. Across the board, they said even though you can see some negatives here with a lot of positives as well, it's going to give you an overall increase of 12% XP per hour if this was all you're going to focus on. This is not all though when it comes to quality of life improvements. In the stream earlier today, they revealed this list here and spoke about it. And then in the further article that they posted, they posted even more. So I'm going to read from the article. Quality of life changes in Season 1 of Year 5. We're going to have a Conflict XP rebalance. They've added Shade XP progression to Conflict. The Living World Activity XP gains revamp, which we've already been over. They've added the Grants tab to make the compensations process more streamlined and items easy to obtain. Grants tab can be found in the store. They've added an option to allow players to change mission difficulty regardless of the world difficulty setting. They've added quick grenade selection menu. They've added visual feedback for lock grenades. They've added an option to mark power items as favorite. They've added directives selection for raids, which is going to be really fun and make them a little bit more replayable. They've added the option to show selected mission directives on the megamap. They've added the possibility to hold escape in space to skip videos and epilepsy warnings. They've added a new in loadout section at the bottom of the item details window in the inventory under a gear piece's talent and mod slot. It's going to display the current loadout and where the selected item is present. They've added the hide show mask and hide show signature weapon buttons in the inventory when hovering over the specific titles and tabs. This is currently present in the cross options layout. And they've added a notification widget for modding primary, secondary, and sidearm weapons skin slot, which appears if the player has any custom skin available for that weapon in the store. The notification also has a quick button that redirects to the weapon skin store tab. A few more things that were mentioned in the stream besides what they put on screen here and what I've just gone over is that there's missing blueprints in the game from old seasons. I think season 9, 10, 11. In June, they are going to be adding them to control point level 4. So where you normally get mods and blueprints, you'll now be able to get any missing ones from season 9, 10, and 11. I think they mentioned season 8 as well, but that's going to be done at a later date. They haven't got that in time. And they also mentioned a lot of work is going on to improve systems with cheaters. They spoke a little bit at length about cheaters and how they don't like them. They want them out of the game as much as we do. And there is a process, and processes are going to be getting better with the cheating systems that they have in about 4 to 6 months. And bans or ban waves will be going out. And finally, something that I think will be music to everyone's ears. There is a countdown patch tomorrow to fix the matchmaking issues. They explain that what happens is on Countdown at the minute when you're matchmaking, if someone loses their instance, that is what is triggering the whole system to crash, so to say. Countdown doesn't start up, which is why when someone then leaves the mode, it all boots up and it starts. They think they've got a fix for this, and they're hoping that this is going to be much more stable from tomorrow's update. And finally, the last thing to speak about in this video, the Year 5 roadmap. We've discussed Broken Wings Season 1 at length, the Descent game mode, Castle Rebuild, and the Apparel event. Season 2 will be Puppeteers. The Castle Rebuild will follow the same suit as the Manhunt in Season 1, where you're getting hostages and rebuilding the castle settlement. There'll be another Apparel event. But in this, there's going to be a brand new incursion. This is new to the Division 2, but we'll remember incursions from the Division 1. It's going to be like that. But what happened in the stream today is people were talking about raids and if there's going to be another raid. They outright said no, there's no plans for a third raid. However, they told you to think of the incursion as a new raid. They said the incursion is going to have a lot of raid-like mechanics. It's obviously going to be for 4 people rather than 8 people. But they want you to think of the incursion as the new raid in Year 5. More about the incursion, they did speak about it being a cleaner mansion on fire, and you were basically going into the mansion to clear out the cleaners, pretty much. It didn't give too much information away on this, but it is going to be coming in Season 2, which will probably be about August time, I imagine, when Broken Wings comes to an end. Season 3 of Year 5, they called it a quiet one. They said it'd be the quieter of all the seasons, but the one with the most story-related content. So we're going back to New York. There's another Apparel event, and there's a holiday event as well. And with the holiday event, they mentioned how previous holiday events are going to be different to this one, and it's going to be more engaging, and they're looking to create activities for us to play and do in this holiday event, whereas before it was just like a snowball gun and a chill out mask or whatnot. So I'm interested to see what they do with that holiday event, but I'm expecting more than what they've done in the past. And finally, Black Diamond is Season 4, and this is where we're going to get a brand new story DLC, Seasons 2.0, which is basically going to be the brand new end game. Again, we get an Apparel event, and I imagine this is the start of things to come on the Division 2. They did announce that the story DLC is going to be a brand new area, and we're going to be going to Brooklyn, New York. They were quite surprised that no one had guessed that by the image that they're showing there, and they're very excited for what that is going to bring. And when people asked if this was going to be a paid expansion or not, they declined to comment, which makes me think it is obviously going to be a paid DLC, because why would you go through all that effort not to make money? I think it's going to be similar to that of Warlords of New York, maybe. But yeah, they declined to comment, but I definitely expect that you'll be paying for this DLC. It's going to be some brand new missions, brand new map, all set in Brooklyn, New York, and it'll be interesting to see what they do with that. What they did say is that there was a ton of stuff coming at the end of Year 5. So going into Season 4, there's going to be a lot of changes, and that's obviously going to push ahead, I imagine, to Year 6 of the game with even more content. And they spoke about the specialization revamp. This was something that was mentioned back in November 2021, and it's an idea that got put aside. This has been put aside, so basically I think it's been scrapped to a degree, because the new endgame coming is going to have so many changes. The old specialization revamp that he had in mind just didn't fit in. I think there are still going to be some changes around specializations, but that specialization revamp that they previously discussed with us and showcased to us isn't going to be as it was. But do expect a lot of changes when Season 4 hits, with a brand new endgame, as we've just discussed, and a brand new DLC. So, as you can see, there's certainly a lot to get excited for in Year 5 of the Division 2. Although, as I said at the start of this video, I was a little bit disappointed that the seasonal format was the same going into Year 5. There's that much coming, especially with that DLC at the end of the year. I am very, very excited. I'm so glad that I've got stuff to do in the Division 2 again. I'm really looking forward to going through the Manhunt, going through the brand new game mode, looking forward to that brand new incursion, and ultimately seeing what the brand new DLC is like at the end of the year with the brand new end game. I am very excited. That's the end of this video and the end of this recap. As promised, what I'm going to do now is show you the trailer in full that they shown earlier today with some sound so you can listen to it as well. And yeah, enjoy the trailer. Don't forget to hit like and share to support the video. Subscribe if you're new here, and once the trailer's finished, be sure to go and check the video description. At the top of it is a link to our fantastic community. Come and check us out, you won't regret it. But also a link to the article that they posted today with all of the details that I've just gone over and more. So if you want to know what weapons and exotics are coming in Season 1 of Year 5, all that is listed, and all the gear sets and brand sets as well. Not gone over that today because we already know about that and discussed that, but you can read it in that article if you want to. Thank you for watching this, and until next time, stay safe and peace out.
Agents have one mission. All the threats we face. All the sacrifices we make. They're in service of one overriding purpose: to protect our community. And if we cannot bring our people home, then we fail that mission.